Okay, hi again. We are continuing with creating questions for our question bank. So the fifth type of question that we're going to look at is single answer questions. So I'll once again click on add a question. And my naming scheme was Q, so I will type in Q5 now. And now instead of choosing file upload, which was the last choice, then I can now type in fill in the blank. And for example, I have a question, research is, so I can put in a blank, underscore this and put a question. So dash is working in a scientific way to search for truth of any problem. So my possible answer is research. Maybe I don't have another possible answer. So basically that is how you type in a fill in the blank where you just have one blank. In the next we'll look at multiple blanks. So you can put the dash wherever it is, so it just guides the student, and you click on update the question. So you'll actually see that there'll be a blank here. This is not where the student will type their work. I can edit the question. Looks like there's something wrong in the way of scientific way of research. So click on update question. So what happens is that on the student side, they will have a text box like this where they will be required to type the answer. So that is for a single blank question. The next type of question that we have is the multiple type of question. So I will click on add a question, and I'm still using my naming scheme Q6. Now instead of fill in the blank, now I want to have fill in multiple blanks. And for example, I have mixed methods, research, constitutes both. Now where do I actually want my answer to be? I will have to put a particular identifier, but within, for example, I can say type 1 as my identifier. Remember, this identifier is any, you can even say name 1, and make sure it's within square brackets. So mixed method research constitutes both name 1 research and again identifier, you type in name 2 research. So the important thing here is that where you have the blanks, you have to create or use a particular identifier for each of the blanks, and then but put that name or that identifier within square brackets. So you'll notice that at the bottom here there's a drop down of the various blanks. So if you have more than 2, you'll actually get to see all of them listed. Right now I have 2, so that's why you'll get to see now the identifier that I used here is what shows up here, and the second identifier that I used there will also show up here. So for example, I can type in name 1, maybe type in the possible answer for this would be qualitative, and the second possible answer that someone would, or a student would write, would be quantitative. And so those are the possible answers for name 1. What if then for name 2, what are the possible answers for name 2? So I could actually say that the student could write quantitative and or qualitative. So that is a second possible answer for that particular second blank. The beauty about this is that Digital Campus also displays a demo course, a demo question for multiple blank questions. So like here the question is roses are, then the identifier they have chosen is color 1, and notice it is put in within the square brackets. Violets are, you'll get to see the second identifier, which is color 2, and it is also enclosed in the square brackets. So that is what we've also done here. Mixed method research consists of both where you want the first dash and where you want the second dash. But for you to be able to give the possible answers, you have to pick any identifier and name for that. For us, we've chosen name. So I could also type in type 1 here, and you'll notice how my drop down changes. So notice it actually changes to type 1 and type 2. So I think it's still the same for now. Okay, so once you're done with that, you're happy with your question, you can always click on update question. So that is for fill in the blank. Fill in multiple blanks. Remember, we have just used 2 blanks for now. You can have your question having more than 3 blanks or more than 2 blanks, as we've just demonstrated. The choice is yours. All you have to do is pick a particular identifier and give the suitable or appropriate answers and update your question to the question bank. So once I'm done with that, notice because it's got 2 points, maybe 2 answers expected, I could edit this to have 2 points instead of 1. So I'll go back and edit 2 and click on update question. So I have my question. So those are my 2 fill in the blanks. The next type of question we're going to look at is how to add multiple answers question. So again, I'll use my naming scheme Q7. Now here in the drop down, I will select multiple answers. Multiple answers now is where you have a question that would have a different choice or set of answers, and I can set out a question. So I'll just maybe pick out a name, like for example Eric is, and my options are male, a lecturer in the School of Education and Social Sciences. I could add other answers. For example, he is the director of research, or add a possible answer, maybe for example plays rugby. So these are just possible answers, and maybe you can give an instruction in the question, select the 2 possible answers, right? 2 possible answers. So at this point, you can even change your number of points to 2. So the student knows that out of these 4, 2 are actually correct. But for you as a lecturer, so that the system just does a marking for you, you'll tell us that this is a possible answer, this is the correct answer, and so is this. So these other 2 are not correct. And remember, you can click adding more options, like for example if you have 3 correct and you wanted them to select out of 6, you keep adding this. But remember, the most important bit is the aspect of which of the options are actually correct. Remember, you can always hover your mouse over a particular option. You'll get to see the arrow which allows you to click so that you can set it as the correct answer. So this is a next type of question. So we have just looked at fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, and also fill in multiple answers or multiple answer questions. So this I can be able to update the question here. So the student will be allowed to select 2 out of, or even 3, but 2 are the ones that will be correct. Once I'm done with that, I have my 7th question type within my question bank. The next type of questions come in the next tutorial. Thank you.